everyone. Welcome to the Radiant Black podcast. This is the show where we talk Radiant Black and all things Massiverse. But today, we're going to take a moment to look up because we're going to be talking about the new Superman 2025 movie. I'm your host, Bash, and I'm joined by my friends and my fellow hosts, Charlie and Addy. How are you guys doing?
Man, yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad we decided to talk about this movie. I was just thinking about it. I think the last movie we reviewed was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of
Oh my
Madness.
God, yes.
Was a long time ago. So it's big. It comes up, and this one we were all excited for. Yeah, I'm really excited to get into it, and it's a good time to be a DC fan, and it's a great world we're living in now with people excited for DC. So things are getting a little bit better. So yeah, how are you doing, Ali?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a great summer movies, and you can definitely feel like the DC hype growing, even with people who weren't necessarily that into DC before. So, and it started off with a bang with the Superman movie. I can't wait to get into it with you guys.
Hell yeah. How are you doing, Bash?
Great. Yeah, I really dug the movie, and I'm excited to talk about it. I think we've all seen it like 2 or 3 times, so
Yeah,
it's
3 times.
Yeah,
3 times for me. I think all of us saw it 3 times, no? Or who saw it twice?
yeah.
No, I only saw it twice. I didn't see it
You saw it twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, great movie. We're excited to talk about it. So yeah, let's start. So the movie, we're not going to go through it linearly. We're just going to talk about the movie.
Yeah,
We had do a synopsis. The movie is
Yeah.
important because it's the first Superman movie in 14 years. The last Superman movie to come out was Man of Steel. I mean, when I say Superman movie, I mean a Superman movie where Superman is the main character, not something like Batman versus Superman where it's more than one character. So the last Superman single movie, like in terms of he's the main character, was Man of Steel 2011, which was directed by Zack Snyder. Obviously, I saw that one live. Or was it 2012? Is it 2012?
13. Yeah, 13.
The 13? Okay, yeah. 13.
Yeah,
okay, so it's been 12 years then since we've had a Superman movie.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically, both those movies had something similar in the sense that the hope with Man of Steel was to kick off a cinematic universe, which was obviously the DCEU at the time, or that's what people were calling it. It had its run, and we had several movies, but since then, the movie has, that cinematic universe, in a lot of ways, tried to rush to catch up to the success of the Marvel universe, and for that reason, amongst many others, it struggled a lot. And over time, that universe kind of began to have issues like it never really garnered a lot of critical reception. Like though some movies did really well, like Wonder Woman and Shazam being standouts in terms of garnering critical reception.
Honestly, Aquaman too, like box office.
Aquaman financial, yeah. I would say the Suicide
Squad,
movie. but yeah, but that one's like not really a DCEU movie. That's more of a like limbo kind of movie. And then we have the financial successes, which is Aquaman being the highest, which when you say out loud is hard.
It's crazy, right? It's hard to believe.
More than Batman vs Superman, more than the Batman. Movies that aren't DC. Well, the Batman's not DCEU, but it's still a very, very good movie, and it didn't make anywhere near as much Aquaman did. Aquaman made $1.3 billion. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was around there. I think like Joker and was Wonder Woman $1 billion too, or no?
Wonder Woman made like 800 something.
Yeah, I think it's only the 2 Dark Knights, like Dark Knight Returns, the Joker, and Aquaman are $1 billion movies.
Well, the Joker made $1 billion too.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest rated R movies.
Wow. Yeah.
Definitely not the second one. Definitely not the second one. But yeah, I was curious to hear kind of your guys' kind of excitement going into this, and I know me personally, this was the first Superman movie that like I was really looking for something different and hopeful. So I will say, like, when Man of Steel came out, I was 12 years old. So that was like I was very young, but that was kind of, I actually did really appreciate that movie in a way where I thought Superman was a very boring character, as some people say, which is not true. But I just liked kind of the different take on it, and kind of to see that Superman can be more of a character than just kind of saving cats out of trees and stuff like that. Obviously, we know now, and getting into comics, it's a different thing. But yeah, I think this was something this was a different tone, something James Gunn seemed really passionate about and really struggled with for a long time. He's never really done something like this. Spoiler, but it has a lot of comedy in it. Um, but it's a lot more sincere and a lot of more serious moments than some of the other movies. So this was for me this was the most excited I was for any movie this year, and lived up to the hype for me. So yeah, well, I guess we'll start with Bash. How excited were you going into this? And I guess spoilers, like, did it live up to your expectations?
Well, we'll just say one thing to start before we get into that is the movie did have an issue of the DC brand is hurt hardcore in terms of in the movies right now. Like people are really drawn to the Marvel Cinematic Universe for good reason. Those guys have done incredible stuff over such a long period of time now, and I'm not talking just about like from a comic book or from a property point of view, but even from a cinematic like achievement of having something like go that long, having movies like Endgame or Infinity War where you've cast that big and make it all work. Like at the end of the day, that's a huge achievement. It's amazing. As like a someone who grew up loving Marvel comics and Marvel characters, like it's amazing to see that, and it makes you feel like you kind of want to see that for DC too. Of course, like if you
Definitely,
love those
definitely.
characters too. So DC having many crappers for many years in terms of the live action movies, they've lost the faith of the general audience and even the most committed audience. And there's been like it's divisive because some people really love like Zack Snyder, and then some people even outside of Snyder just don't really like that stuff at all. I like Zack Snyder and I like his movies and I enjoyed all the DC movies he's done, but I do have issues with it where it's like I did think they were too serious sometimes, or they didn't have enough color, or like he kind of missed the point of certain characters, even though the movies are good and I own them and I would rewatch them. Like, just putting that out. I own Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I own Batman vs Superman. Like I own those movies. I've rewatched them quite a few times over the years. Wonder Woman included, all that shit. So yeah. So the main thing to know is that going into this, if you're a casual person, then DC movies they're kicking off a new cinematic universe, and there's this pressure of doing well and wanting to impress the casual audiences or all of everyone. But there's also this pressure of like making it a financial success because DC has a lot riding on this. If this movie doesn't do well, then they're gonna have to like really reevaluate what they're doing in the future. So like that's why there's a lot of pressure, right? So going
Yeah.
into this, yeah, like did I think this movie was excited? I would say it's probably the most anticipated movie for me for the year because like I love Superman. People actually think that I got into comics from Batman, but that's not true. I got into comics from Superman and Spider Man. Like those were the two characters because the colors and the design was more important when you're younger. But then Batman like really made me a huge fan. And then so I've been reading and watching Superman in like many different forms for a very like long time. It's one of my favorite characters. Like I put him at number one with Batman and Nightwing. It always like just changes in terms of how I'm feeling, but it's always like in that number one or two spot often, and it's always been equal to Batman for me. Like I don't prefer one over the other. I like them the same. They just like them for different reasons.
They're different, very
Um,
different.
Yeah.
yeah, so I wanted the movie to be good, obviously for many reasons. I wanted to be good because I want to, as a fan, see a good Superman movie. But at the same time, I think there's different pressure of like I need this movie to be good as a fan because if this movie is not good, then they probably are not going to do future movies. And like Superman is one of the biggest characters at DC, so if like one of the biggest characters at DC in the eyes of the executives is not like selling it, then they're going to be like, why are we going to take a risk on some random. But anyway, with that being said, I thought it delivered really well. It wasn't perfect, but I thought it was excellent. And I like even my issues are mostly either manners of like preference or like individual preference, like or just like things that like weren't perfect in my opinion, but don't really detract overall hardcore, to be honest. And we'll get into that. But yeah, I was really excited. I thought it was good. That's why I saw it 3 times. And even leading up to the movie, like I had all the toys. The only toy I didn't buy, all of them, like literally all of them, was the Ultraman because I had a feeling it was either going to be. And before I say what I'm about to say, we're gonna spoil the hell out of this movie. So if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it, please see the movie because we're gonna spoil a lot, and there's a lot of good things in this movie. So spoilers. What I'm about to say is massive spoilers. From this point on, we're gonna spoil everything. So this is your warning. Okay, so in the movie, I mean, there's several other characters, right? There's several other characters, and they had to also do well because if they didn't do well, that they probably wouldn't have a future in the future projects. But at the same time, with Ultraman, I just had a feeling that it was either going to be Bizarro or it's going to be a clone. It turned out to be one of those things. That's why I didn't get the toy, because I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be a throwaway character, which I'm not saying in a manner of criticism. I'm just saying in a manner of being someone who wants the toy and play with it. Like, I don't care about some like random thug looking like Ultraman. I just want the characters, right? So I got like all like the Mr. Terrific, the Guy Gardner, the Superman robot, the Superman, Crypto. I had them all. Um, yeah, and I even got the battle damage Superman where he's like burnt, which I think is so funny that they made like another toy and just like literally cooked him. They were like, "Yep, release it." So yeah, I was super excited. I definitely want to get this movie when it comes out, like on Blu-ray and stuff, and rewatch it. And I
Yeah.
even
Steelbook looks great. I think it sold out
yeah,
very quick, but yeah, it
yeah,
looks
yeah,
pretty
yeah. It
awesome.
did. It sold out instantly,
Yeah.
and I pre-ordered the art, the making of the movie, the art and
Yeah.
making of the movie, and then there was quite a few variants that were like exclusive. I didn't manage to get those because they sold out extremely fast. But the one thing I really wanted that I couldn't get, but only not because I wasn't there, I was actually there, I could have gotten it, but because it only shipped to America, which pissed me off. They had this thing before the movie came out. There was like milk bones that are dog treats. They had like a
Yeah,
limited run where they had a comic that was made specifically, like it's an original comic. One of my favorite artists drew it, Travis Mercer, and it was just like a stupid like throwaway story. But I just want, like, I love those promotional items, and I think they made very few. And basically, it was sold with the box of milk bones. So if you bought a box of milk bones, they give you the comic as long as supplies lasted. And it was like within 2 hours they were gone. It was like weeks before the movie. So that's the only thing I couldn't get my hands on that I really want. Everything else I've gotten, and I've gotten some really cool stuff related to the movie. And there's one thing that I'm really excited about is right now all like the toys, the high-end toy companies like Hot Toys, Mezco, those guys are starting to show their designs for the Superman, like David Cornsweet Superman. And there's so many figures coming out, and they all look great. So it's been a good time. But yeah, I did really like the movie, and I thought it was great. And yeah, it was the most anticipated one of the year for me because it's not just about this movie, but it's about the cinematic universe too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ali, did it live up to the hype?
It definitely did. I'm with you guys that it was definitely my most hyped movie of the year. Both like comic book movie or any other movie, and it lived up to the hype. It delivered for me. I can't wait to go see it a third time, like you guys. I definitely did have my issues with. Like, I wouldn't say it was a perfect movie, but the parts that mattered to me, they delivered on. Like, the characterization was great. The chemistry between the Justice Gang, especially, like just the three of them away from Superman, was great. Lex was amazing. I think I can say this is the best and my favorite Lex that we've ever had.
I would easily agree with you.
Okay,
Was hating him the
glad.
whole movie. I think
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into it, but I think he definitely nailed the pettiness that no other, like, you believe this guy hated Superman's guts.
Like, it was personal, right? Like, it bothered him to his core. Nicholas Hoult was
he was probably my standout from the first time. And yeah, I one thing I want to quickly mention about box office that Bash was just talking about real quick was kind of the conversation and making sure this is a success compared to like where we were in the past. And it's interesting seeing those numbers, like just how much of the world has changed now, especially in movies. Whereas this movie is tracking almost identically with Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, yeah.
They are going to be almost identical. I think that's very interesting. But I think the overall reception is what's changed the conversation. Is I haven't gone to anyone at work and they've said, "Oh, I didn't like the new Superman movie." It's either like, "Oh yeah, it was okay," or I've never liked Superman before, but I love that movie.
You know, let me tell you a quick story about that. The first week after the movie came out, when I went to the comic book store on Wednesday, one of the regulars walked in. He's we're just talking. He said, "You guys watched the Superman movie?" A lot of people did. Some people didn't. But he really didn't like it. He said Superman looked dorky. He couldn't take him seriously, and he's like, at least Henry Cavill had presence. He was big. You could see him, and I get that, but that's the point, right? I was like,
Okay,
I came out of that
try-
movie wanting
okay.
to be a better person. Like,
Wait, I just want to say,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a
Yeah.
dick. I swear I'm
Uh-huh.
not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper. I swear to God, I'm not. But like that is what Superman is.
I
Like
know,
what
I
people,
know.
and I told
Yes.
Ali like years ago, I think like 1 or 2 years after Man of Steel came out, I told him the worst part of Man of Steel isn't that like it has some of these bad moments. It's that it's gonna convince an entire like generation of kids
100.
that this is Superman, that he's like this guy who
Yes,
But
murders,
100%.
this guy was
like
this
just like
guy was like in
throws
his
people
50s,
into
bro.
buildings. Yeah. I'm
100%.
just,
Guy was in his
no,
50s,
but you know what
dude.
I'm trying to say is like it's gonna people are gonna want this like Dragon Ball Z type shit, and it's like
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, like I get it, like cool action or like that
That
Homelander, like
action was crazy.
those like
But
like look like Henry fighting like Feora or whatever her name is in that movie is amazing. Like that's such a cool action scene, and it's so visceral and it's great. But it's like what Superman is at his core is cheesy, like genuinely, like it's cheesy. Like if you've read
yes,
any of those, any comic, like
the
minus maybe the '90s where they tried to make him a little bit more edgy. Like
Everything in the
he's
90s
really
was more
always
edgy.
cheesy. Exactly, he's so cheesy. Like this guy
the
is
big
literally
the
a guy who's
biggest difference I think is Zack Snyder. Like he said, okay, what if this God came to Earth? Like how would the Earth react to this character? Whereas James Gunn is saying, oh, this God is actually a man, and it's like focusing
he's just a
on
guy.
how he's more of a human because he like how he was brought up and how he is more human. I thought he nailed that aspect. Everything with the parents was awesome. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think of the kind of, we're all Invincible fans here, but and it's been in a couple iterations. What's up? What's
I
up?
hate the idea of like people comparing this to Invincible because John Byrne, as much as I hate him, fuck him, did this in the Superman comics in the '80s. This has
Sure.
been an idea that's been in the comics way before Invincible was literally like conceived as an idea. So
Yes.
like, so let's not like give Invincible this credit. Invincible's definitely one of the successful comics that also have gone with that idea. Yes, but
Yes.
Superman's also done it before Invincible was even made in the comics, and there's been even Elseworlds that have done similar takes. I don't mind it because I like Smallville, and I feel like it's very Smallville. Like it's
Yeah,
it's clear that James Gunn watched a lot of Smallville.
There's
and
definitely a
was
lot of like
yeah,
the same themes
And-
and motifs from
yeah.
Smallville in this.
So I'm like, I don't mind it. It's because it makes it more about like if someone said this, and I agreed. They were like, if you're still a good person, but if it's like if someone says that your job is to just do the right thing and be the best, and then you be the best, you're still the best, but like there is an aspect of it, it's like you are being told to be the best, and that helps. I'm not saying that's why you're the best, but like that helps. But like if someone tells you to be this dipshit and like dispatch people and rule over them, but you still choose to be the best, I feel like that makes you stronger as a character because
And he
at the
said,
end it becomes about your choice, right? Not your heritage. It becomes about who you are, right?
right,
Like,
right.
that's
They
what I'm
did
saying.
that with the Batman. They did that with the Batman a lot, like making kind of Martha like a little kind of like she was in the psych ward, and Thomas like was a little corrupt. They did explore
Yeah.
that a little bit, and I totally agree. I think that makes it more impactful. Like obviously Paul says, which personally was the best scene in the movie when they're sitting down. Like it's your choices. Like it's not what people tell you to do. It's your choices that make you who you are. Which
Yeah.
I
Wait,
thought
and
was amazing.
just to add to that, to add to what you just said, what I really like about this movie is that everyone who says my favorite scene in this movie it's almost always a different scene. And that's really good because that means it touched people in many different ways.
Yes.
And everyone took something away differently or liked it for a different reason, which is so good because oftentimes you'll see in a movie a lot of people, not all the time, but oftentimes will agree on like one thing that really stood out. But in this movie, there's so many things that stood out to people, and I really like that because my favorite line in the movie has nothing to do with anything, but like your favorite line is also very different. So I'm like, that's what got me. And then I heard other people say, and it's like everyone had a different line, which is really nice.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, other than that, I just highlight real quick. It was that and the tower falling was probably the best action sequence, like him rising up from the dust and him kind of
Yeah.
shining out. The costume looked incredible. And that movie, I do hate comparing it to something. I do think it is my bias. But watching another movie I had this week, I enjoyed my time a lot. but I didn't really feel anything, or I didn't get any chills throughout the movie. Whereas Superman, like it could definitely just be my bias with the character, but like that moment, every time I had chills. There was multiple other moments that got me choked up. Like this movie hit every time, and it got better and better. The first time, I think my expectations got the better of me a little bit. I was just hoping for like all-star
The
Superman
first time
on the
it's
screen,
tough, right?
but that
'Cause
was
it's,
never
like,
going to happen because it's
fast, man.
And
James
Yeah.
Gunn.
but
Dude,
you
the
know what?
movie's so fast. Like the first viewing,
It-
it's
it
hard
is
to
very
appreciate
fast.
everything. Like everything happens so fast, and there's a lot of details.
I
Like
wouldn't.
we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah, for
my
sure.
biggest criticism of the
Hey,
movie is that the
yeah.
pacing. As soon as you start, it's like something happens the whole time. There's no moment.
Bro, I
in the
literally
movie
spoke to some
where
people. I
you.
was like, "Did you notice the mural?" And they were like, "I did not notice the mural."
No, I didn't. Not my first. And then I saw people
That's what I'm
talking about
saying.
it
Like,
online. I'm like,
and it's
oh
so
wait,
fast.
that
It's so
exists.
fast.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the other thing is, there's a lot of little things. Like, there's so much Lord Tech. Like the recorder says Lord Tech. Like half the
Yeah.
technology, if you pay attention, says Lord Tech, which is a really nice touch. The Justice Gang appears like way earlier in the movie than they actually appears. If you look at the
Yeah.
first time we're in the Daily Planet, they're all over the TVs at the top, the Justice Gang. So like you could see them already in character, everything. The other thing is like when they're evacuating Metropolis, you can see on the road signs it says exit West Gotham City. So like there's a lot of shit like that. There's Big Belly Burger behind the kaiju
Oh, I didn't know.
spraying the flames. There's like literally so much love. They're in Stag Industries when they go in when Guy Gardner greens out the windows so that they can talk to Superman about his harem. They're inside Stag Industries. So like there's a lot of like little like Easter eggs like that that are like love love letters to DC and
And they
everything.
had Jitters. Jitters was there, I think, at one point.
Oh yeah,
I think,
exactly.
yeah.
So there's there's like
There was a
lot.
lot, man.
I'm
There
missing
was-
a ton of them.
Watch
There's
this
a
at
lot.
home and
Yeah.
pause it and kind of like go through it with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many of them. So it's like I really appreciated that as a fan. And then I really appreciated that he gave everyone. I was worried about like how are you gonna balance because it's not a very long movie. It's like an hour and 55 minutes or something. And it's like how are you gonna balance all these characters? Not just the superhero characters, but like Daily Planet cast is so important. But I think they did a wonderful job. And then I already know this. Like I'm probably like the biggest Mr. Terrific fan in the world. I'm not saying
Oh,
I'm not saying like from the movie. Like I've been a
Oh,
fan
yeah.
of this.
Oh,
I've been a fan
yeah.
of this character like way before he was announced for any movie. So like to see him like I knew
was
the moment they
sick.
cast Eddie Gattegi, I was like he's gonna kill it because this is a very good actor. He's a genuine like excellent actor
Mhm.
who I know like I also knew before he even said anything in interviews. I remember Darwin from X-Men First Class. Like I was
yeah.
there. We watched that shit live. I remember being disappointed as a viewer with how they killed Darwin off. Even though it's like Sebastian Shaw's a badass, like don't get me wrong, Kevin Bacon, right? But like still like it's like he's literally whole thing is adapt to survive, and they killed him off so fast. It's a meme. It became a meme. So they
Yeah.
turned him into a meme, which I didn't appreciate because like Eddie Gattegi is such an incredible actor, and I was like, I knew the moment that announcement came out, that Eddie Gattegi cast as Mr. Terrific and Superman. I was like, this guy that's his redemption in like superhero movies because he's like he knows like they did him dirty in that movie.
Yeah.
So I could not wait. And then there's several interviews came out about that, about how that he feels that genuinely that is his redemption because like he's playing a much bigger character, and he said how meaningful it is to him because it's a black superhero and how meaningful it is to him to inspire a young generation of like black kids and just kids in general. So like I really loved all that. But yeah, Mr. Terrific has always been one of my favorite characters. One of the most, in my opinion, one of the most underrated characters in DC. And I think even DC realized that post Death Metal when they started to be like, we should put this guy in the games more.
Yeah.
And then they realized that in the last 3 years, you really saw them like, oh no, we should like really, we should put him everywhere. Now he's in every book. It's ironic. Like we're not gonna count the year one because like it's a 6-issue mini. But like minus year one, he doesn't have his own book, but he's in every book. He's in every single book you can think of. He's literally in Flash. He's in Justice Society. He's in what do you call it? The Justice League. He's in Batman, and he's in the event books. And Detective Comics with Tom Taylor just announced a 2-issue crossover with Mr. Terrific, where he's gonna come and they're gonna solve a crime with him and Batman. So this guy is literally everywhere, bro, in the comics, everywhere. So it's really nice to see them kind of stand behind him and be like, yeah, like we're gonna like it. And it's ironic because a lot of people don't know this, but he was created by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake, who like they created several other characters. They created the Suicide Squad, like the second incarnation with all the from the 80s, the iconic volume. They didn't create the team, but they created that iconic iteration of the team. And John Ostrander created so many things over the years, but one thing that people don't realize is that the two writers who should get the most credit, and I'd give James Robinson some as well, but really the most is David Goyer and Jeff Johns, because they were writing JSA, where they developed Mr. Terrific into like an actual proper character. And if you guys don't know this, David Goyer was one of the screenwriters of Man of Steel. So,
Oh, really?
So yeah, so so it's like really funny to see like that whole thing come full circle, So I thought that was awesome. But yeah, like it was amazing to see Mr. Terrific, who I thought was one of like the show stealers, and a lot of people felt that way too. It really seems like obviously you're not
I
gonna
love
call
his
Superman.
characterization
Yeah.
too, especially compared to
Yeah.
not
That's
Smallville.
exactly how
right?
it. No,
Compared
man,
to
I'm
his
not gonna
Flash
talk.
counterpart,
There's
it's-
only two. There's two. He was terrible in the CW.
Arrow.
He's terrible. Like
Yes,
it's not even an adaptation. Like I'm not trying to shit on anyone. Like truly, because the CW wasn't even technically an adaptation when they did their Terrific. They were just trying to do their own take on it. It was completely different. I would say if you like Mr. Terrific, there's three that are really good. Justice League Action has the best from the animation, in my opinion. Underrated performance, Mr. Terrific. That one where he wears the purple T-spheres, not T-spheres, the purple T-shaped nanotech on his face instead of the black one, and he has the yellow jacket. And there's the Eddie Gattegi, obviously the Superman, which is right now easily by far the best. And then there's, I forget the other one. The Tomorrowverse one isn't bad, but there's another animated one which is pretty good. But like it's not great, but it's not bad. But yeah, so like there's a lot of good iteration, but the CW I don't. A lot of people said the CW is what actually killed that take on him is what killed their interest in the character. But yeah, so he
Yeah,
seems
I
like a
don't think
great
the
guy
show was
now.
big enough
they
to
all,
kill him.
They
But
all
yeah,
had good moments though,
He-
right? Like how about Guy and
No,
and
everyone had a great moment, but I feel like Mr. Terrific, because they were doing science shit, he had a little bit more time in the movie than everyone else.
I
Probably
think
also
if
because
anything, out of all the three, Hawkgirl probably got the least screen time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see a lot of people shit on her, but I'm like, I swear
I
to God,
love the
show me do
screen,
it.
bro.
I
Like,
love
You did what you was
Like,
asking. I
that's
didn't
so
like it.
cool.
I didn't like it.
No,
I'm on the
loved
opposite
it,
side.
man. I
I
loved
didn't
it,
like
man.
it.
I was like,
menacing,
I was
man.
like,
It's
if people
scary.
don't like this, I don't think they understand her character, because it's like, bro,
No,
like,
I just think what was presented in the movie, like her character, like she didn't really seem like I don't know, like a timeless, like a warrior or something. Like she just kind of seemed like
Kendra, right? It's Kendra. Remember, Kendra is like, it's not Shaira. It's like this girl who like is literally infected with this like host, who then she becomes like, what the fuck is going on? Do you not remember like? I don't know if you read the JSA stuff, but like Hawkman would come and be like, "Come on, baby, like we reincarnated." She'd be like, "What the fuck are you?" She didn't have those memories, so it doesn't have the feelings, and it's weird because she has like partly remembers the memories and the feelings, but she doesn't feel that way because it's not her memories, because it's not really Shaira.
yeah, her character
So,
didn't seem
yeah.
that nuanced to me. I think was the
Yeah.
thing. Like she.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean,
not
I'm gonna
nearly
give her
as
time.
They
nuanced,
got a
like-
lot of screen
I'm
time.
gonna
Like
give her- I'm
I
gonna
didn't
give
get
her
any
time,
of
yeah.
that. Like none of that was presented.
I think
That could have been cool.
I have a
That
theory.
would've
I have a
been cool.
theory. They put her in the movie for two reasons. A, because Isabella Merced is like popular and she's cute,
Oh, she's
and they were like, she'll do well with the young, like the younger teenagers and the young adults. Like she does well with that age range. But also, I think it's because they needed someone to kill the president of that country, and Superman's not going to do it. And Guy would get into deep shit with Oa if he were to do that, like politically. So he can't do that. Guy, like, I
He
feel
would
like
do
Guy
it,
would.
but
No, he wouldn't kill him.
worth it.
Guy would not save him. Like if he was gonna get killed, Guy would just be like, I don't have to save him, but he would not kill him because he would like
That's
he
true.
literally he would get into deep shit for doing that. Because like those lanterns, bro, if they kill on their own accord, there's gonna be political issues, and then the little blue guys are gonna be all pissy, and it's just like they don't want to deal with the bureaucratic bullshit. They have no problem killing. They just don't want to deal with that headache. So like really,
Yeah.
like I knew Guy was not gonna kill him, but then it was like, especially when he's talking about his vows, I was like, he's not gonna kill him. But then it was like, who's the other guy? Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific is not a murderer. And then the Hawk girl is a murderer though. Like the Hawk people, both. I'm talking Shaira and Carter. They're warriors. They love murdering people. And then like Kendra is also a killer because she's a really angry like young woman. She's really young in the comics. She's like 19 or 20 when she gets like the Hawk thing. And then she has this ferocious like spirit of the Hawk girl, like from the previous incarnation. It's always been like a warrior. So like They have this need to like fight.
Yeah.
They want to
Yeah,
talk. They always
I
want to
just
beat
didn't
shit
get
up.
I didn't
Yeah.
get that 100%. But yeah, no, she's great. I'm happy to see more of her. I'm glad Gunn got her because she's just
Yeah.
gonna be more and more. She's up and coming.
I'm curious to see like what she's
am-
gonna do in Peacemaker.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
she is amazing. One thing
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, which was something I was actually not sure about at first, but I love it now. And Bash, you can tell me this, if this has ever been in the comics or anything, but I'm not so sure, is the inclusion of just like music and like punk rock with just Superman, like him just like having a love for pop culture and
Yeah,
just
so
music.
Williamson started doing that recently in the last like year or so in his
Okay,
run.
so with the movie,
There's even like an issue where is it like Pete Ross gives him like a
yeah, I
mixtape
haven't
or
read
something, or
that
he gives
series.
I'll send it to you if I can find it. So
Okay.
it's recent, but I'm pretty sure
Okay.
like part of that is probably inspiration for the movie. I will say
I
something
think so.
that's funny. I'll tell you guys something real funny because you guys know how like the Mighty Crab Joy is a big part of the movie, right? Because he loves it,
Yeah.
and it's like the
Yeah.
songs. That
Yeah, I saw who
yeah.
was on the poster. I saw that. That was
Yeah.
funny.
So in the Dan Mora issue from this week, they put like in the background of Clark's
yeah.
bedroom, the Mighty Crab Joys, and people were like, "Oh, so this is the extent of synergy." So fun fact: this was not planned synergy. It's not synergy. So this is what happened. Originally, it was a poster of Dragon Ball Z. Okay. Then someone from DC said something about a rights issue and that they can't do that. They can't publish that because they might get in trouble. So then Dan Mora last minute just changed it to Mighty Crab Joys because he had already seen the movie at
That's
that time.
crazy.
So it was like more of an accidental synergy than planned synergy. So a lot of people are thinking, oh, like this is DC trying to like change Superman's past, and it's like no, it was literally just like Dan Mora last minute, his choice for fun. It was meant to be Dragon Ball Z. So it's like it's not. If there's an even like there's a preview pages from a month ago when the issue was on FOC where it was actually still Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, so it's like it's not.
And
That's
I think at the
actually
end of the
insane.
day, it's a little bit of James Gunn into it too, because like
Oh, 100%.
that-
You guys know,
For
like
sure.
he loves his needle
Yeah.
drops, right? And that's what I
Yeah.
want to
You
say is that
knew-
he was
Yeah.
so restrained in this movie. Like I
Very.
could tell that he had
There was
held
two,
himself
right?
back.
There was two.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
was two.
He
That was
held
it.
himself back a lot, and they asked him in the interview after the movie. There's one with Josh Horowitz, and there's another one with someone else. Forget who it was. I recommend watching them both. Excellent interviews. He talks a lot about the film and its development and everything. They asked him how hard was it. He was like, it was extremely hard for him not to do that. He was like, you have no idea. He's like, every time he was doing the editing for the movie, he wanted to go back and put those in. And
He's
was
never
like,
done
I
a
just
full
went-
score, I don't
Yeah.
think.
No,
movie.
no, he said it's the
I
first time. He said it's the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah, he said it was really hard for him. It was one of the hardest
It's
things.
just habit. I thought he did a great job.
Yes.
Shout out the score too. I thought the score was
Yeah.
fantastic. Like
Yes.
the melding of it. We got some new stuff, but also like the more we see Clark get into that punk rock, we get the score transition into the punk rock theme too, which was absolutely epic. But I love the music. I think it, especially trying to show the general audience how human this character is, like just giving him this past and this love of music and these poster on his walls. That was a great moment with Lois too, just coming in and realizing that for the first time. And I think we've gone 30 minutes without talking about Rachel Brosnahan though, but she
was amazing.
Amazing.
All the leads,
she was fantastic.
all the leads, like
All-
Rachel, Nicholas, and David were like incredible.
Yes,
truly incredible.
they all killed it. Rachel,
They're all probably
Brosnahan,
the best
Yeah.
versions of each. Obviously, David's the only one where I put him still
Superman's
behind
tough.
Reeve.
I
put him
still
behind Reeve
love
still.
Margot Kidder. I love Margot Kidder. I like
I
that
do like
interview
Margot
scene.
Kidder.
That interview scene's really hard to beat. This one was
She
interesting.
got done
too.
so dirty in 3.
Putting a
though.
12-minute interview scene in a movie is pretty ballsy.
And you know what though? It didn't
Um,
feel that long. It
It
felt like
didn't.
it did
It
not feel that
didn't.
long.
Felt
It
short.
really
It felt like
I
5
totally
minutes.
agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
It was
Yeah,
also
no.
like very compelling drama because I was like, I was really sucked into like how are they going to react, both of them, because
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like almost like a thesis on who they are as human beings. So it's like that's kind of what you're getting. She's like, I love when she paused and she's like, look, I probably agree with you, but like I still have to ask the questions because that's what a
Yes.
reporter does. And I'm like, I love that she's doing that. She's like grilling his ass. She's not holding back. I really enjoyed that. And I love that like she constantly gave him shit about like the ethical nature of like interviewing yourself and stuff like that. I feel like that's good. That's what she would do. And it's like, yeah, like bro, like what do you mean? Like she's like one of the funniest line is like, oh, she's like, you can calculate how long you give your answers like in your head, like or something like that when she's like your imaginary answers, whatever. And I thought that was so funny. It's like how she's like you know how long you answer your own questions, like what's going on, like. And he was like, oh, but I thought that was excellent. I loved his frustration in the moment, and it's like, yeah, like he just values lives above all. Like he doesn't care about the technicality and the bureaucracy of it. I thought that was excellent. But and another thing about her is that like I really enjoyed that she didn't just instead of like just being a damsel in the distress, like she was pretty much the person. She's the reason that he's actually able to like bring Lex down.
She saved him, not the other way around. Like she didn't get saved once, which I thought was a cool cool
like
thing.
She's the reason they can take Lex down. Like if it wasn't for her and the Daily Planet and Jimmy, they would only be able to foil Lex's plans, but not to capture him and arrest him. But it's only
she was the one who actually looked at the pictures.
Eve. It was all Eve, man. Eve.
Eve exactly. Eve was the MVP. Eve was like the 200 IQ mastermind behind.
No, she was great. I found out she was like she's a model too. Like this is the first time she's been in a movie or something. I thought she was fantastic. She did a great job.
She was really good.
Yeah, she was great. I don't know. I didn't love the Jimmy stuff, but I thought it was good.
I'm not gonna lie.
I just personally didn't love it. I've seen people love it. I've seen people hate it. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I like it for the character.
About it too.
Yeah, I'm indifferent about it, and I think it could add something going into the new series.
Like one of my favorites.
That was a very love or hate.
Yeah, one of my favorite series of all time comics is like the classic.
Was he like this?
Dude, yeah, 100%. He's like he's like the most like no joke. He's one of the most interesting characters in the DC universe because he's so whack. Like he does all kinds of weird shit. He cross dresses. He like
never heard that.
He's been turned into in All Star Superman. He cross dresses, man. He's undercover as the woman in All Star Superman. Does it in other issues too. He's turned into several different like abominations. He was Elastic Lad for a while. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy and Pete Ross. I'm pretty sure. I know Pete Ross and Lana 100% are, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy was as well for a short time. They're honorary members of the Legion of Superheroes because they helped them for a short time. So like they are literally honorary members. Like they're in the Legion draft. Like they're in the book. So like the history books and everything. So like their names are recorded there. So they're like legends. Like they're literally legends even by like galactic 21st century standards. So like I've always loved Jimmy. He's like the dumbest character ever in DC because he does the wackiest shit, but I love it. And if like you haven't read Matt Fraction's Jimmy Olsen run, I highly recommend that. That hardcover deluxe comes out in 2 weeks. It's like it won Eisner's, and it's one of the best modern ones in my opinion. But it is goofy, and because that's what it is. That's what the subject matter is. So I love Jimmy Olsen. I love that stuff. I didn't think it was done like perfect, but I didn't like I still love it because I've always wanted that, and it's like my dream project because I can realistically say as a kid I always wanted like a good HBO Batman show, like a really proper HBO Batman show. But it's like that it's tough for so many different reasons. But I do think one day that will happen and it'll be really good. But
shows are getting that expensive, man. Yeah, this Lord of the Rings show is more expensive than most movies.
Oh God, exactly. So I think it will happen one day. But for me, what I've wanted the most is like if I'm gonna wish for something, I want it to be something risky because it's less likely to be made. But as a kid, I literally always wished for a Jimmy Olsen like real show, live action. It was just him doing the stupid shit. And that's like literally what they just said is gonna happen. They said that there's they're gonna make a live action Jimmy show. And then there was a rumor 2 days ago that Gorilla Grodd is going to appear on the show. So
I love that. He's going to be interviewing different villains or something. I heard the pitch was. I think that's great. Like the actor nailed it. Like he to me now is Jimmy Olsen. Like he's easily the best iteration of Jimmy Olsen on the screen.
Let's talk about Guy Gardner though.
Yes,
that was actually like perfect. That was like literally perfect. 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's Nathan Fillion, man. What do you expect? Like as soon as we saw that casting, I was like, he's gonna.
When he was eating fruity pebbles, I was like, this. They just nailed it. Like this is Guy Gardner right here. This motherfucker right here.
I cannot wait to see him in that like rated R format. I think he's gonna be a little in Lanterns, but just him.
He said he swears on that more than he's ever sworn. He was like, I swore. He's like, on the few episodes that he's there,
Oh man.
he said the F word so much that he's never said it as much in his life.
I'm excited to see that. We're getting him in Peacemaker in a few weeks. Like we're getting lots of him, which I love.
Dude, I love Guy Gardner. Like I cannot even like explain. Like I love it. Like truly, I like love that character so much.
And
I loved him since I was a child.
What makes him so good too, and I hope they show eventually, is like you just hate him so much until until you learn his backstory and kind of like his upbringing and what
Then you
he's
feel
been
bad
through.
for him.
And
Yeah.
and man, like seeing that, like if they show that for this guy, like that's gonna make a lot of people just love
Maybe
this.
You know what's funny? You know, a lot of people don't know that he was selected at the same time as Hal Jordan, and that Hal Jordan only got the ring on a technicality, and that he was actually the first choice. Like people don't know that. Like that's the story. That like literally the ring chose two candidates. It was Guy and Hal, and it said Guy is actually the more heroic one, but Hal has no fear. And I can't remember what the reason was. It was a very silly, like stupid, like technicality. That like he was sick or whatever, some bullshit. So they went to Hal because Hal at that moment could go to Abin Sur right away. So Hal ended up getting the ring. And then they showed later on what would happen if Guy got it. And then they show his like time as like they fast forward through his life. It's like he would have been the most heroic Green Lantern. He would have fucked up all these things. But then he's arrogant, so he would have like messed this up because he's like so full of himself. But he's also a different character back then. He was less of an asshole because it's the head thing that makes him such an asshole, which you'll like learn later on, which is it's just a little bit like tragic. But yeah, like he's such a
it's very tragic.
It's very tragic. Yeah, he's such a great character. Like I really don't feel like he gets it. And like when he becomes a Red Lantern, I think that's one of the best like mantle changes any character's ever had, like ever in the history of DC. Like when the motherfucker like fights Atrocitus, when he's like, "Come on, bitch, let's do this." No rings. I was like, this is one of the best issues. And then his beef with what's his name, Arkillo,
Fungus.
right? That's his name, Arkillo.
Oh, Arkillo, yeah, and both
Fungus with
Fungus
Arkillo is one of the best.
Fungus is a different one. Yeah. No, that
bro,
is.
He's like such an underrated character, and like I guarantee that they're gonna do that. Him getting punched out in the movies, like by someone. I don't know if it'll be Batman. It'll probably be Batman, but I guarantee.
I was glad they saved it. I was thinking they might do it.
When he like gets close to him, I was like, don't do it now.
Man, I was something I was a little, and we did see in the trailer, but curious to see about. And I'm not worried at all now. Is them just showing the Lantern's powers? These constructs looked amazing.
So
I thought he was being really creative. Where
the baseball bat,
where he puts that big thing and it keeps like sticking the big monster in the eye. That was hilarious. Like no, there was a lot of great moments with him, and they left so much. Like they introduced him without necessarily introducing the Green Lantern Corps. Like they mention it, but people still don't know what people are still going to think, oh, there's only one Green Lantern. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it gets you excited for the show.
It's a perfect setup.
Yeah.
He didn't treat anything stupid. Like he put you into the mix. He gave you a couple sentences, and here you go. But yeah, no, I thought that was probably my favorite side character. Him, Mr. Terrific.
The baseball bat when he's hitting the imp, like. For people who don't know, like that's his like iconic construct is the baseball bat. So, like,
that was great.
Like every Green Lantern has like one or two.
It cuts the sound for a bit, and you hear him like the bat ding ding.
It's just like
that was great.
And she's like, shouldn't you go help them? And he's like, oh, they got it under control. They got this. You know, like, I love that.
And it's funny too because remember when that picture first came out, like months and months ago.
Everyone is like, oh, it's Solaris or whatever. Yeah. It's Solaris, and it's like, no, it's just like your garden variety, like fifth dimensional. Ugly ass.
I actually have a question here, which we're kind of no, I'm not skipping anything, but I was very curious to get your guys' thoughts on this. So, when everything gets exposed and everyone's scared of Superman, right? Like the whole world's scared of Superman because of this message. He was sent here to kill the whole world, right? Now, at the end of the movie, Lex's whole plan is debacled and everything, and Superman comes back and he's the hero. But do we think this is going to be a plot point? Like, do people still hate Superman, or is this just going to be kind of glossed over?
I think I think it's going to be largely glossed over, but I think certain parties are going to use this as weapon or leverage against him politically
Sure.
because
Okay.
they're going to say that he interfered. And it's like one thing that I think could be really interesting is think about all the characters that we've already had DCU adjacent or like that kind of form the under baseline of the DCU canon. So like Peacemaker. Peacemaker, if you think about what the characters are, they're all about national security. Amanda Waller, national security. Rick Flag Sr., national security, literally head of Argus right now. Now, at the end of the movie, he talks to Senator General Secretary General Attorney Mori, and he says, whether you like them or not or something, they're gonna make all the rules now, like the heroes, because like he saved the day. So they're like kind of worried about that. So I can see another country because so much of DC so far, the new DCU has been geopolitical issues with different countries, most of them that are made up. Like if you remember, Creature Commandos was about like a made up country having geopolitical issues with America. So like I can see another made up country being like, we're gonna actually use this as leverage against the United States because they use Superman as a weapon of mass destruction. Something like that. Like I can see it spin like that easy, and Lex could be behind anyone because it's like it's true. Superman doesn't represent the United States, but it's so easy for another country to just paint it that way if they wanted to smear America's reputation in the DCU, right? So I think that is possible. I think it's very possible, and I think that would be interesting because it could be the thing that introduces Amanda Waller even more and President Lex, because I feel like President Lex is something that would be very good in this social climate. I feel like
I
it
think
would be
real quick
you know,
too. I think to leak to about the President Lex point, on a smaller scale, I think there's just regular people that are still gonna feel that way, that are gonna
yeah,
feel untrustworthy. That on a just at a baseline that he's an alien,
Which,
and then
to be
that his
honest, like
parents sent him here to do all that
nothing
bad
was
stuff.
debunked, right? Like, yeah, I guess
No,
you're just hoping like people trust in Superman that he's going to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, like nothing's changed to the world. Like he was
right.
sent here to destroy everyone. That's all anyone knows. No
Mhm.
one
I swear to
knows
God, if
who
this
this
was
guy
the
is.
reason, if BVS came out after this movie, it would make so much more sense than what the fuck BVS was trying to do. With
Yeah.
BVS. Like if Ben Affleck Batman was like, I gotta kill this motherfucker now, I would be like, this is more believable as like
Yeah.
wanting to hate this guy than like whatever was happening in Man of Steel. Just some guy like saving people, and they're like, oh, I need to kill him because he's like an illegal immigrant, right?
Yeah.
Like here, like if like that Dark Batman looked at this Superman and was like, this motherfucker has a secret harem.
He has to go.
He has to go. I'd be like, you know what? I can see why you want to kill him.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Genuinely, I can be like,
Yes,
I
I
can see
agree.
why you would want to fight him. Like, if you really believe that, and it's like, there's a part of Lex that genuine, like, yes, Lex is using all this shit to like lie and smear him, but I think there's a part of Lex that genuinely believes that he is here genuinely to hurt them.
Yeah.
And that so like that's why I think Lex in his own way is so twisted because he really thinks he's doing the right thing. So like that to me, like if the BVS came as a result of like this guy has a secret harem, he's like trying to take over the world, he wants to be like injustice basically. I'd be like, yeah, I can see why like Batman and a bunch of other heroes want to just show up and beat his ass. Like makes sense, right? So that's just food for thought. Like someone's gonna do the DC EUU squared ultimate cut now, and it's gonna be like BVS after Superman 2025. But no, but seriously, like that would be really cool actually.
I like that.
Hypothetical scenario. Don't
The seeds are definitely planted for it to be.
I don't want Batman to fight Superman anymore. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that this time. Just have
no. Give us world's finest now. It's about time.
Man, just like seeing how Jor-El could be like. It instantly just makes you wonder what a Zod would be like on this earth.
Yeah, 100%. And did you see what someone said? Someone asked him, "What does this mean that Kara is also like a Krypton supremacist or something?"
Yes.
And he was like, "There's no." He's like, "I'm not saying this is the case specifically with Supergirl, but he's like, different people on Krypton have different feelings about the matter. So he's like, don't assume that everyone on Krypton thinks the same way." And I'm like, that's a really good answer. Like, that's a good way to frame the answer. It's also like Supergirl's parents, I'm pretty sure, live on Argo, which is like one of the moons. So like they're not gonna be in the immediate vicinity of all that chatter. They would kind of hear about it in the like this, you know, from a bubble kind of. So it's like it'd be interesting to see what her parents what their point of view will be when we get Supergirl. But I'm also saying like I'm telling people like don't expect Supergirl to be a hopeful movie like Superman. It's actually gonna be the complete opposite. It's gonna be misery and metal.
Wait.
I can't wait to see people be shocked by how much abuse like crypto's gonna get in and that because he's gonna because like the story is I don't want to like basically like Crypto's gonna get his ass handed to him. Okay, so like it's gonna be bad, and I don't even know if they're gonna stay with that, but I assume they will, and it makes sense if they do since she's partying on the Red Sun, so they're always vulnerable, right? So just keep that.
But that's the best part for me about the DCU when James Gunn came out and said that every DCU movie is gonna be different. You know, it's not gonna all have the same vibe, themes, or feel. So if we can jump from movie to movie, and you know what, sometimes someone might not like a different movie, maybe the Supergirl one, and that's fine too. But hopefully they come back for
the guy directing it. The guy directing it is so good. I forget which the newest movies he's done. He did like I, Tonya. It's like Craig Gillespie.
Oh.
Yeah, so they got like a really good director, like directing Supergirl. So I'm gonna be this one thing I'm really excited about.
And the writer, Gunn seems to love the writer. She's now
Anne Noguera or whatever her name is.
Anna Noguera. I forget. Anna. I know her name is Anna. That's all I know.
She's writing the Teen Titans script right now, right? And she just submitted a draft or something. And now she's writing another movie. Third movie.
I heard Teen Titans, and then what was the other one? Yeah, there was one more. Wonder Woman. She's been rumored to maybe be writing Wonder Woman. So yeah, they seem to love her. Which is great. But this universe really seems like they're trying to what they're trying to do with the Massiverse, like not in a huge sense,
give each person just creative control.
Yes, that especially, but also just like the interconnective way, whereas like every story's kind of contained.
Yes.
But if you watch everything else, like you get those little bonuses everywhere. So I think that's a great idea. Like the post-credit scenes weren't anything, but they were just kind of something a little fun.
I thought they were so fun. Like I
love many people are just like moaning after the.
I like them.
The Mr. Terrific one is funny because that's like the way I thought about it is like imagine that you're in imagine that you are that character and you're Superman and you're like this innocent, like genuine, sweet guy that you're just worried about this apartment building that didn't line up perfectly. And you call your genius buddy to tell him that, and your genius buddy is a very serious person who's just solving the world's problems, and you bring him to look at this fucking crack, and he just looks at you like, "Are you serious,
man?"
Like this, you like told me to come out of my you told me something in an emergency. You show me this crack. It's like I understand.
That was a very good scene. I wish I remember the person's name, but I did hear someone kind of have the idea, which I do like this a lot more. I don't think the logistics maybe work very much, but according to this movie, it might. But just like having Superman and Mr. Terrific like discussing this whole thing, and then just having Superman like hold up his arm and like pushing the building back like kind of flat. I think that could have been just cool, just end it showing how strong he is. But yeah, no, they were just they were cool. Seeing Crypto on the moon on the big screen was awesome. But the real kind of like teaser was Supergirl. Which I thought nailed it, man. This Millie Alcock, she's fantastic. Like she's gonna nail this.
They're my dog, bitch. See you later. It was like
that was great.
That was great. That. And the standout. You could say like all of them are breakout characters. Honestly, like the new ones, except Hawkgirl probably because, even though I thought she was good, she didn't really have.
I think she can still like she set up where she can be a standout, and I believe
she will explore with her.
I don't think she's bad. I just don't think they had as many standout moments.
I agree.
Like Guy,
I totally agree.
But like Crypto as well is a standout character, and I would argue a little bit Gary, the number 4 Superman robot.
I loved him, Gary. and also someone we didn't mention was or maybe we did was Metamorpho.
Metamorpho.
Metamorpho
was awesome. You know, they never mention his name in the movie. They say he is the Element Man and he can metamorphose into anything. They never say his name is Metamorpho.
Right.
I thought that was funny.
Yes, that was pretty funny. One thing that did question me, I haven't read much Metamorpho, but like if this guy were to just like, can he just like turn his arm into like diamond, someone cut it off, grow more back, cut it off? Like, can he just grow infinite material?
So normally he has all the elements of the human body and he can rearrange those elements in any composition to make anything that those elements could make in hypothetical. So I don't think he can make kryptonite because at least based on Smallville, Do you guys remember when they were testing kryptonite because they were trying to synthesize it? There was a random
haven't seen
element of kryptonite that's like foreign. It's like completely alien, like it's not on Earth. So like I don't think that in theory he should be able to do that in the comics, but like if they're doing a more OP metamorpho where he like you just do any element on the periodic table, then in theory, yes. But keep in mind also, I don't know if you know this, but you probably do, Charlie, because you've read a lot of comics. Because Superman is so strong, he can take like the dirt or whatever and just squish it really hard and get diamonds because of the pressure that he applies.
Yeah, I guess Superman can do that. He doesn't really.
He literally does that. Have you
Yeah.
ever read? Have you ever read the issue? It's Mark Waid's like favorite issue. It's like the story of like Superman owes $1 billion to where like
No.
basically he never pays tax because there's like a whole thing about some sort of like income tax or charity tax because he donates to charity a lot and he never pays tax. So like they found out that he owes like $1 billion, but there's like a dependency clause which says that like you can basically get back some $600 per dependent that you have, and since like the whole planet depends on Superman, that like they just doesn't owe anything because he's just saving everyone all the time. So he like gets away with it on a technicality.
What a loophole!
It's
So
it's a
Superman-
really funny issue. Yeah,
What we're
and he
saying is
tries.
Superman
dude,
can end world hunger with
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
money. He can do anything, but yeah, he's slacking.
He was
over here.
trying. He was like he was literally like the whole issue. He kept trying to like make $1 billion. So he would go to like
so funny.
underwater near Atlantis, and he would find like all these like super rare like sculptures and things, and then you'd see like Lori Lemaris and like her faction of Atlanteans show up, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're actually like just digging that up, and that's our excavation site. Like, we actually really need that." Superman saw it, and he'd be like, "Oh shit, I have to go make money somewhere else." And he'd go to like a volcano and like extract some rare shit, and they'd be like, "Oh, like that's like a sacred area. You're not meant to take from it." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh shit, I have to go make money somewhere else." And so he's just like constantly going, and like it was so funny. It's just like the whole issue is just him trying to make money, and like he'd keep having to give the money away to someone who needs it more. Just like showing you how good he is. It's a really good issue. It's like Silver Age.
You gotta
but
send
it's
that
like,
to me.
oh yeah, I will. I think it's like Superman like 134. I'll send it to you. It's so stupid, but I love it. Yeah, but yeah. So
cool.
I thought this movie was excellent. I'm like really excited for the next movie, which I believe the next DCU project, Supergirl, and the next
project is Lanterns,
but
Peacemaker, and then
Lanterns,
then
yeah.
Supergirl.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Next year feels so like we have Supergirl and Doomsday, right? That's it.
Yeah,
and Doomsday's December, so we're yeah, it's
Doomsday's December. Oh my god.
Yeah, they pushed it back, so yeah, it could be. I don't know. I'm hoping in a way because now that May date's available, they could push it to May. But James Gunn seems like he's not going to be changing these dates if he doesn't have to. Like he seems like he wants to make that a point. We heard that July 11th date like 2 years ago almost, and he stuck to that. That was very impressive. That was great. Before we end here, I just want to ask you, is there, and I probably might have asked you guys earlier, so you have more time, but is there a character or anything property in DC that you would like to see James Gunn do next that hasn't been announced? I'll go first to give you guys a little bit of time, but yeah, mine's obviously Green Lantern Corps. Green Lantern Corps.
Okay, the whole
with the Corps with the more obscure characters, with the like you make a team of more obscure just characters. You don't need any Earth Lanterns in there. I think that could be really fun. Obviously we've seen what he can do with Guardians of the Galaxy and all these alien characters, but I think he would just kill it making all these cool new alien creatures. Obviously he loves the comics. He would bring some cool ones back. But I think he would really nail that. So what about you guys?
I think for me, the first thing that came to mind was Harley and Ivy. I don't want Harley and Joker. Harley's already one of the more popular characters in DC.
He can do Harley.
You can do Harley. You know people love Harley. So
with Margot Robbie.
I'm open to someone new. I mean, I like Margot Robbie as Harley, but I'm more than open to someone new. What about you, Bash?
I was gonna say Mr. Terrific, but like he did that, like right, like he literally did that. That was one of the first things. Like that's why I was so happy. So obviously I'm not gonna use Mr. Terrific. Then I was gonna say Nightwing, but I'm gonna stay away from the Bat Family because I feel like once the Bat Family comes out, they're just gonna be.
It's gonna be a lot of Bat.
It's gonna be like they're gonna like be like the face of the DCU. So like I don't want to say Bat Family. I'll say two characters because they're both ones that appear rarely, but I would love to see them in any capacity. The first one is Superboy Prime. I would love to see James Gunn fuck with Superboy Prime a little bit because I feel like that would be a really good character. Like if we could get that Superboy Prime fighting Sodom Yacht like on TV, that would be like one of the best fights that you could see, right? And then the other one is or like Ion at the time, right? Like he did have the Ion power, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then the other one
when
is, the other one is Spectre. I would love to see the Spectre done on
interesting
or in the movie.
Do you think he could do something in that tone?
Yeah, because I don't want to see James Gunn do it. I just want to see it in the DCU in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying more
if it was
like
Gunn,
James.
If it was
Gunn,
Gunn, okay, then Gunn. Then I would just say Superboy Prime because I feel like he would kill it. With
that would be fun.
Yeah.
I think he would kill it. He would do some badass needle drops when he's just fucking up. That would be cool.
Like, can you imagine him doing like Superboy Prime reading the comics and like seeing himself like
I think that could be very cool. We've heard a little bit, like we're gonna be exploring the multiverse a little bit in Peacemaker. I saw somewhere that, and I don't know where he said this, I guess during his panel, that there's 100 universes. Do you guys know where this came from? I've heard there's 100 Earths. There's gonna be 100 Earths in the DCU. So I think that's I don't know. It seems a little more contained, but still obviously a large number. So we can do a lot.
Before we head out, I do want to show one last thing that we did touch upon earlier, but I want to show it in full earnest. So let me pull it up here. So here we have the mural. This is the Justice Society.
Very cool.
Sorry, not Justice Society. This is the Hall of Justice mural that was in the movie. There were 2 parts to it. So I can name like most of these people, but not all of them.
I could definitely not.
Liberty Bell,
there's Max,
Bullet Girl, Max Mercury, Dan and the Dynamite, Phantom Lady, Atomic Knights, Freedom Beast, Wildcat, Vibe, Gunfire. I have no idea. People are saying Maxwell Lord.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't. Yeah. I think at first everyone thought that was Fate. Everyone thought that was Fate at first.
And this is Zatara, Amazing Man, Wesley Dodds, Sandman, Ghost of Flanders. I have no idea who this is. People were saying Richard Dragon. Others are saying Hugo Monroe, or Hugo Dan, or whatever his name is. That probably makes the most sense. El Diablo, Spirit something. I forget his name. Forget this guy's name. This is
they're saying this guy's the first
This Liberty.
I saw that somewhere.
That's the wind. That's the wind form of Max Mercury. No, that's Wind Rider, whatever his name is. That's Max Mercury in his old form. And then that's Miss Liberty. That's Black Pirate. That's Exorcistas, the exiled Amazon. That's Silent Night. And some people are saying, I think this is sister, whatever her name is, Sister of Sorrows or whatever his name is. But some people are saying Amethyst, and some people are saying, what's her name? That really like evil magic. Morgan Le Fay. I don't think it's Morgan Le Fay. I think it's Sister. Whatever, the Lord of Chaos. That's who I think it is. But I like it's hard because it's very stylized mural.
This is cool. I don't know about you, man. These are like I maybe know like 6 of the. I knew 6 of these guys. I know them now. Like
I know
these are some obscure dudes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I thought I
no. These are like
fair share of comics, but like man, I was like, who the fuck are these?
These are like super deep cuts. Like the ones that I feel like
Atomic Knight. That design is badass. I've never heard of this character. I instantly searched it up, and I'm like, where can I read this?
If you know, like if you're reading Geiger, the guy who follows Geiger around is like that. The inspiration for him is based off the Atomic Knights.
Okay.
His armor design and I forget his name. The guy who always calls him Mr. Geiger. He's like a useless guy. Like that guy. He's dressed as a knight. Like the inspiration for him is the Atomic Knights. So yeah, like I know most of these characters, but I don't know them all super well. Like I'd say the ones I've read a lot of would be like Liberty Bell, Max Mercury. I've seen them a lot recently. I know Phantom Lady, but I've not read her a lot. Read a lot of Atomic Knights, Wildcat. I've read Vibe for a short time with Justice League Detroit. This guy, I genuinely had no idea what the fuck he was.
Is Maxwell Lord, like I haven't read much of him either. Is this guy immortal somehow?
Dude, he's a robot. He's like a robot man. Do you remember? Have you read Justice League International? Because he's like the guy. Remember?
I haven't read that. Literally, the only thing I've seen about him is when like Wonder Woman killed him.
Dude, you need to just read Justice League
So
International.
good.
Buy the.
Okay.
They just reprinted the volumes. Volume 1 was 2 months ago, and Volume 2 is coming out literally this Wednesday. You will love it. That argument to me, that is like the best Justice League run of all time. Like it really is by far. And to most people, they agree it's like the best Justice League run of all time, which is ironic because Superman's not in it at all. They weren't allowed to use him. Yeah, so he's too popular.
Cool.
They wanted to use him.
I just renewed my Infinite subscription. So
Nice.
oh dude, yeah, so much good stuff.
Dove into. Do you think these are two separate JSA teams, or are these just heroes throughout the ages?
I think that's just throughout history.
I think heroes throughout history for sure, because if you look behind them, they're all like behind in front of historic sites. Like you can see the White House, you can see the guy with the pirate
Liberty
ship,
Bell is right there.
Yeah. So they might represent low-key like an evolution of DC history, kind of like, or like at least the public-facing DC heroes, right? Because a lot of but like Gunfire being there is so weird. Like Gunfire is like a random Deathstroke character. Like why is he there? Some of these characters are like super random. I'm not gonna lie, like very. But like I love like Exorcistas or whatever her name is. I love her because I love the Demon Knights run. It's one of my favorite runs. It's New 52 with following Etrigan the Demon, and he puts together like a team of like medieval like hunters. It's in the ancient times of like Morgan Le Fay, and they're hunting like Mordred the Sorcerer, who's like teamed up with other like really overpowered sorcerers at the time, and it's just like fucking shit up. It's such a good run. I highly recommend it. Like that's where I know a lot of these characters. And then like Liberty Bell and like these two and Wildcat and Amazing Man, they've all been involved with JSA All-Star Squadron.
It's cool to put that in there, man. It was
I
like that, and I love how he posted it after.
You guys know Vibe, right? Like the Cisco from Flash. Yeah.
Cisco
design
this comic,
yeah. His comic design is ridiculous, but I love it. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is really exciting because this excited me more because even though a lot of these characters aren't ones that I love as much, like I do love some. I love the Atomic Knights. I've always thought like they're so because they originally come from the Strange Adventures, the old school sci-fi DC book, which was an anthology series. For a short time, it was focused on them before it became focused on people like Adam Strange and everything like that. Well, Strange Adventures actually reprinted Adam Strange. That was Mystery in Space. My bad. So yeah, I'm really excited because this is like super deep cut. Like if you looked at this and you're like, I don't recognize half the characters or all of them, that's like I wouldn't feel bad. They're like I said, they're super deep cuts. Like even the most hardcore. Like I feel like the only way you will recognize most of these characters is if you read a lot of Golden and Silver Age. You'll because that's where most of these characters were really prominent. Like this guy, Zatara's first appearance is also the first appearance of Superman. He's in a backup
Zatara and Max Mercury might be the most like the biggest characters on here. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe, I could be wrong, but yeah, no, that's
that's cool. With Wildcat, yeah, I would say yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like whoever the guy is at the bottom right is gonna be a big character too.
I feel like it must be Maxwell Lord, right? Like
that's very cool.
Like I think it's Maxwell Lord, right?
Yeah,
that's
what it looks more like Pierce Brosnan than Sean Gunn.
I thought it was Pierce Brosnan at first.
He kind of looks like him a little bit. Eh?
He does look like him, but then I thought it also looks like Sean Gunn with the haircut, and then he's standing in front of the Lord building. Like that is.
I see
the.
It's probably Maxwell Lord. Yeah. And then I'd be interested to see if Gunfire is like his personal bodyguard. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's why he's there.
Yeah. So that'd be really cool. But like, I also wonder if like Freedom Beast is just there, or the Cheetah is just there with Freedom Beast, or if it's like a reference to like Cheetah, like the Wonder Woman villain or something. Yeah. Anyway, this is so cool. This is exciting. This makes me happy because this tells me that like we're not just gonna be focusing on the Batmans, the Nightwings, the Hal Jordans, and the Wonder Womans, and like the most popular characters everyone and their mom knows about. But there's James Gunn and co also have a few surprises up their sleeves, which is amazing because trust me, people love obscure characters. Just look at Mr. Terrific. So many like casual audiences, people who don't necessarily read comics, have never heard of him, and now he's someone that people are really gonna enjoy and love for years to come. So
you also just don't get the complaints, right, and the preconceived notions of things and all that stuff. So I think that helps out a lot too.
I
But
think as an
yeah,
actor, it must be exciting to be the first person to like bring it to life.
yes, I
Yeah.
You know
think
what I
so.
mean? Like
I
at
think,
least live
like
action.
you can tell how much John Cena loves Peacemaker. Like
Yeah.
you saw him
Oh,
at
yeah.
Comic-Con, like
John Cena
it's
is Peacemaker. Like he changed the character. Genuinely, like I'm not lying. Like the character
it's so
before,
perfect for him. He is a wrestler at heart, right?
Yeah.
Like he loves
Like
getting into
nobody gives a
character.
shit about
I love
Peacemaker
it.
in the comics before John Cena. Nobody gives a shit. And like even the fact that they changed the Peacemaker in the comics to be more like John
I
Cena,
think
nobody cares.
everyone likes it. It's
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
likes it. No one's
Exactly.
complaining that we're lost the original Peacemaker.
No, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's give a score for this. Each one, I'll go first. I'm gonna give it a very strong 8.5 out of 10. Very strong 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was
That's solid.
excellent. I cannot wait for the next DC movie. I saw it 3 times. I even bought the crypto plushie. I want to buy the popcorn thing that Charlie has. I couldn't. I didn't get
Oh
it fast
yeah,
in
that
time.
dude.
Yeah.
The quick story about that. The first time I was there, I heard someone in front of me in line say, "Oh, it's $49.99." I was like, "Oh, I am not getting that." I went back the second time, and then I saw it was $24.99. I was like, "Okay," and
might
it
have
came
been
with
'cause
popcorn, so I was like,
it's
"Okay, it's
going
only
on
15
sale.
bucks. I'll get it." But no, it's nice. It can, yeah, it's like a solid.
I love it.
box.
I love the newspaper changes. Like you have the
Yeah,
crypto one
yeah,
and the super. That's so
yeah. It's
cool.
pretty
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah,
How
is
much did you
that
give it,
are you
Charlie?
done with your score, Bash?
Yeah. 8.5.
Okay.
Very strong 8.5.
Yeah,
Highly
I
recommend.
like that. I think when I first came out of the theaters, this was a 7 for me, 7 out of
Oh
10.
wow.
Still really enjoyed it, but it wasn't something wasn't clicking for me. And I think that was just my preconceived notions of everything. So going back again, this is like one of the hardest eights I can give. Like just solid. Like I don't want to go quite up to 9 or 8.5, but 8.
Mhm.
It's this movie was incredible. Lex, the villain. I would say this is Gunn's easily the best villain he's done. I love the High Evolutionary, but I think this was the
Okay.
best villain he's
Yeah.
done. Everyone was casted perfectly. The
You know
score
what's
was
so
amazing.
funny?
The tone was
Like
awesome.
the toy, he's wearing a fucking purple suit,
It looks like
but
the
he
Joker.
never wears.
Ah,
It
He
looks
never
like
I
wears.
think it'll come. I think it'll come. And also the Hammer of Baravia, that are we assuming that's gonna turn into the Lex suit?
I think
The
it's
power
like a
suit at
mix
some
of
point?
a mix of that and the Raptor suit. The
Okay.
Raptors.
Okay.
It's those two mixed together that will be the hammer or
That could be
the
cool.
war suit or whatever. Yeah, because like the
But
Raptors were the green and purple color.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I love the universe, this universe he's setting up. But even the prequel book was good if you're interested in getting a little more kiddie.
Good.
Yeah, he fights Metamorphos in there. There's some cool shit in there. Go check that out. But yeah, definitely a solid 8 out of 10, and I think it's only gonna go up for me. It's right on top for my favorite Superman movie. I still can't really decide that 100%. I think that's going to take a little longer to cement that opinion, but I couldn't be more happy with this movie, honestly. I guess I could be 2 points happier, but I'm happy with where I'm at. So yeah, we'll go with that. How about you, Ali?
No, I think I'm like Bash. I'll give it a solid 8.5. It lived up to my hype. There were some things I could have asked more from the movie, but given the hype and excitement that I had for it, the fact that I came out both times very, I really enjoyed it, and it made me feel like there's hope, not just in real life, but for the DCU as
Yes.
well. It made me
Yes.
very excited for what's to come.
Mhm.
So that's a
Yeah.
great start. A
I was
great start
I was
to the universe. I trust James Gunn fully.
the Noah and the Whales song, the 5 years later, I've heard several times before the
Mhm.
movie. But
Yeah.
the punk rocker song, I was like, this is gonna be played. This and
Yeah.
the 5 years later song are gonna be played a lot
Yeah.
after this movie comes out. And it's like everyone on Instagram, on Twitter, on social media, on TikTok, everyone's playing that punk rocker song. I'm not complaining, it's a great song. I'm just saying like that's how good the movie is that even this song is going viral, right? It's a great
Yeah.
song, by the way.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. That's like an 8.25 average across the three of us, which is an excellent rating, if I can say so myself. Please go watch Superman. And I'm not going to say anything about Fantastic Four yet, other than I also enjoyed Fantastic Four. We're going to be reviewing that soon, sometime in the next coming days. This is going to be an episode that we put out for the patrons first, and we're going to release it for everyone a few weeks later. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the Fantastic Four episode. All I'm going to say is I really enjoyed that movie as well, and I can't wait to talk about it with the guys on the next episode.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, they both scores, especially the Fantastic Four. That one's more recent. Both are stuck in my head. Like just won't
Yeah,
stop
Yeah.
playing.
me
They,
too. Me
they
too.
both slide. And Michael Giacchino, he's one of the best
Yeah.
out there right now. So
Legend.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, can't wait to get into Fantastic Four. But yeah, the DC universe seems to be back for now. So yeah, we got lots of good stuff coming up, and
Yeah.
I'm excited we're here.
Yeah, and if anyone is really curious, if you're like a newer reader and you somehow fall into this channel, and or maybe you've only read Radiant Black and you're not learning about this, if you want to read more Superman, I highly recommend checking out the Summer of Superman initiative that DC is doing right now. There's a huge push for Superman, some great stories, great writers, great artists, but also
Yeah,
All Star Superman, which is arguably one of the best Superman stories ever made, arguably the best
Great,
according
great.
to many, just got printed in the DC Compact edition, which is only $9.99 US or $13.50 Canadian. So that's a 12-issue comic book with really long. It's like 400 pages. You can get for
yeah.
$10.
I saw
So
Supergirl's getting that too. Supergirl's getting
yeah,
that
January
form as well.
2026. Yeah. So
Yes.
they're printing, and Nightwing by Tom Taylor is getting a compact.
Yes.
So lots of really, really big compacts coming. So if you're just now dipping your toes into the DC universe and you really want to read more, but you're on a budget, I recommend doing what Charlie mentioned earlier, which is the DC Universe Infinite, which is their online. It's like an application
It's
where
such a good deal. And a
yeah,
big thing now, yeah, it's an application basically Netflix for DC Comics.
yep,
But you go on there and before they have this new basically Ultra Infinite where you get the comics 3 months delayed, which is very good. But it used to be only an annual subscription, but they've now changed that to monthly, which is a great option. So it's less to commit to if you just want to hop on, and you can read 4 or 5 comics and it'll pay for your subscription. So yeah, no, it's honestly a no-brainer deal if you want to get into comics for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's it pretty much. Go check out Superman if you haven't. Support the new DC universe. Go check out Fantastic Four. It's a huge summer. There's so many good blockbuster movies. It's turning out to be such a blast at the box office for the summer. Let's keep up the momentum. And yeah, that was awesome. I guess up and away. We'll see you next time, everyone. Stay radiant.